Hey y'all. So a long time ago, when I lived in a different state, um, about 16, 17 years ago, again, today is my 16th anniversary of being here in Tennessee. So I thought about it. And I thought, well, since I'm taking down my TikTok videos, I'm erasing a lot of them or deleting them, and kind of just want to stick with my YouTube and Instagram type of videos and stuff, and Facebook maybe. I thought maybe I would do a SuteUp Presents because SuteUp is my old channel name. So I thought I would do that. Why is that thing over my face? There we go. So I'm going to start with Godless Guy, and it's an old friend of mine by the name of GEERUP, Arnie, I think his name was. And so I'm going to start with the first one here. Godless Guy thanks his lucky star, and it's kind of satire. Towards atheists and things like that. And I really like his role as Godless Guy, whether he dubbed his voice or whatever, and I really enjoyed Gear Up and everything. So I figured I'd take it off TikTok and put it back where it originally appeared at, here on YouTube. So here, as you see, is Gear Up as Godless Guy. I'm going to make one video presenting it as SuteUp Presents, and then I'll probably follow up with more later on. And there's a lot of serious things he's talking about on here and everything, but my particular ones I enjoy is Godless Guy. So I'm going to roll back down here and let's see what he says.
Be no heartache and no heartbreak.
Let me just watch it.
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. One is the loneliest number. One is the loneliest number. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Someday, we won't need the opposite sex to have children. All we'll have to do is just imagine it, and they'll pop into existence. Evolution works that way. Let me tell you a little story. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there was some dust floating around. In the beginning, there was some hydrogen atoms, and some carbon atoms, and some other atoms that I'm not aware of, but they were there. And they slowly, over billions and billions of years, coalesced, came together. And it was the lucky star. And the lucky star, well, the lucky star grew and grew and grew, then collapsed on itself, then exploded into what is now the cosmos. And the cosmos came to be from the large explosion known as the Big Bang. And the Big Bang, over billions and gazillions, and everyone knows that if you give it enough zeros, anything can happen. This has been scientifically tested and proven in a laboratory with a beaker and a Bunsen burner. If you just pour in a little of this, add a little of that, add some heat, voila, life can spring from these fundamental elements. That is the power. That is the sheer power of scientific thought at work. Imagination. 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 Surely the world came into existence without the aid of a designer. Because if there were a designer, there would be no suffering in the world. There'd be no heartache and no heartbreak. There'd be no death. The world would be perfect. Absolutely and utterly perfect. Everybody would have everything they ever wanted or needed. No one would ever be hungry. There'd be rain on all the crops, and there'd be sunshine on all the flowing fields. There'd never be a storm or a lightning bolt that would strike an innocent golfer out there on the 5th tee. There wouldn't be earthquakes that would suck in, scores and scores of pagans worshipping Baal. We could worship whatever we want. We could make golden calves and lay our children at the golden calves' feet and even sacrifice them, and that would be all okay. Because if there was a God, he would accept all forms of worship, even the sacrifice of little children from pagan cults. I know this is hard to understand, but you've got to understand something. If there was a real good God, he'd accept everybody and everything, and he'd love us all, unconditionally. He wouldn't look down on homosexuality. He'd embrace it himself. He'd say, that's cool. I'm glad you're doing that. And if someone steal, he'd say, that's cool. As long as you leave a note. That's what I say, when it comes to things like stealing, just tell them that you're gonna do it. At least leave a note and say thank you. I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if people just left notes. And, just a little note of thank you. Even rape, for instance, I know as hard as that sounds, I mean, if you could just muster up a thank you after you're done. People don't say thank you enough today. It would go a long way in making the world a better place. Okay, I'm not saying you should stop your theft and whoremongering. Just after you've done it, just say thank you. Leave a post-it. Thanks. Just leave a post-it. What's wrong with the world today? Why can't you just leave a post-it after you've ripped off all the tools in my truck? Or, took my flat screen TV, at least leave a post-it saying, thanks. I mean, it's the ungratefulness. I think that's what's happening. And I as an atheist, I know that gratefulness is important. Because if you're grateful, then, it makes you feel good inside.
I love GEERUP because the things that he said back in that time, this was 12 years ago, the things that he said in that time back 12 years ago really apply to today. And there are other videos. I think that was his last godless guy video. And then we have other ones that he made, which rolled down to shoot. A very enlightening fella. And he's the one that kind of caused me to call my own self SuteUp. And then there was like a suit upgrade, and which my son took that video, that channel, and it just kind of stopped messing with it. So the next godless guy was this one right here, and that was 15 years ago. So it was like a couple years later that he made that last one. There's a lot of nice videos in here that he made. The one from 16 years ago. And but anyway, I'll be posting some of these later on, and we copying it using my in-screen video. So I hope you enjoyed that. And again, it's going to be called SuteUp Presents, which is my old name, and the godless guy. All right, take care. We'll see you later. God bless.